Please tell us about yourself. What are your interests and hobbies?
My name is Eugene Kibo. I have over 15 years experience teaching science in middle and high school. I believe that every student is capable of learning. They do not learn at the same rate and they do not have the same learning styles. But with different methods and strategies, it is possible for every student to succeed. As a teacher, it is a hobby for me to research and come out with methods and strategies that will meet the needs of my students.
Are you involved in extracurricular activities that you could coach or supervise?
Yes, I love music and I am the choir director for my school for the past 8 years. My school choir has won 2 awards. One at the school district level during the district's youth celebration activity 2016 and another for the Governor's Music Promotion Festival 2018. I am also the Sunday school sports supervisor for my church. I equally coach soccer and handball games.
Why did you decide to become a teacher for the subject for which you are applying?
I had one of the best science teachers in high school. He matched his lessons with computer simulations and lab work. We worked in groups and stations based on our performance levels. This helped me to complete relevant projects and understand concepts even in advanced science lessons like chemistry.
Are you currently employed as a teacher?
Yes.
Hours per day do you teach and how many days per week?
8 hours per day and 5 days per week.
Describe your teaching experience. What subjects have you taught and at what grade level?
I teach chemistry, physics, and physical science in high school since 2015. But from 2004 to 2014, I taught general science in middle school.
Describe other work experiences you have besides teaching.
I am a trained music coordinator. I compose songs and teach to kids between the ages of 8 to 20 in my school, in my church, and in the community at large.
Have you ever worked in the United States? If so, when and why?
No.
What do you hope to be doing professionally 5 years from now?
I will still be teaching.
If I were to talk to several of your colleagues, how would they describe your personality?
They will tell you I am very motivated by my job. I come in every day with a smile, ready to work. I greet my students and my colleagues with a smile. They will tell you I am a good team player. I carry out research and come out with links and websites and share with my colleagues. They will equally tell you I like to receive feedback for everything I do. I video my lessons and share with other teachers and the administration so that they can watch and give feedback.
What would your students say about you?
My students elected me Teacher of the Year for last school year. I equally received appreciation letters from parents telling me that their kids like my class very much. My students will tell you that I incorporate a lot of technology in my classroom. I also incorporate a lot of hands-on activities in my classroom. My students will tell you that I like to reward positive behavior.
How do you prepare to teach your lessons?
I prepare weekly lesson plans, but I spend much time to prepare my daily lesson plans. My daily lesson plans are based on data collected from my students' previous lessons. I spend a lot of time to prepare even for a particular student or a group of students who did not understand a particular concept. However, my lessons begin with the bell ringer. Here, I use an activity that engages the students immediately they enter the class. After the bell ringer activity, I move to the next stage, which is known in my school district as the mini lesson. At this stage, an activity is used which introduces a new concept. The activity could be an investigative activity or a lab work. At this stage, I provide a systematic guidelines and instructions to the students on how to proceed with this activity. At the end of this mini lesson activity, I allow the students to share their findings, and together as a class we come out with a conclusion. After the mini lesson, I move to the next stage, which is known as the work session. Here, the students work in groups or stations or independently to complete assignments which will help them to practice the new skills they have just learned. I use the computer program IXL. I also use hands-on projects or computer simulations for work session. Finally, there is the review stage of the lesson. Here, I use games like quizzes.com, smarttech.com, or kahoot.it to review the lesson. The students play games using their cell phones or computers. I allow one student to control from the smart board.
What would your lesson plans include?
My lesson plan will include a bell ringer activity, a mini lesson or an introduction activity, a work session activity, and a concluding activity.
Think about a class that you have taught recently. Talk about two of the teaching methods or methods that you used. Think about a class that you have taught recently. Talk about two of the teaching strategies or methods that you used.
The last class I taught was on the periodic table. My objective was for the students to understand that elements are placed on the periodic table based on similar properties. I gave each group of 3 a large construction paper and 20 objects of different sizes colors, and shape. At the level of the mini lesson, I told the students that they were to construct a periodic table of objects. At the end of their construction, they were going to share with the class the reason why they sorted the objects the way they did. At the end of the mini lesson, each group shared its reasons as a class. Then I distributed copies of the periodic table to the students and played a short video about the periodic table on the smart board. Then, at intervals, I paused the video and gave explanations to the properties of the different groups of elements. Some students used the mind map on the computer to take notes. Others used the fill in the blank notes, while others used the corner notes.
What methods do you use to grade or evaluate your students' progress?
I evaluate the progress of my students on daily basis using class discussions, bell ringer activities, assignments completed after class remediation. I equally use games, quizzes, tests, online projects, lab projects. I equally use end of unit evaluations.
If you use technology in your teaching, describe how you use it. Specifically, discuss your experience using a smart board and ways that you incorporate it into your lessons.
We use technology in my school district every day. I have a phone policy where I allow students to use their phones in my class for educational purposes, to play games like quizzes.com, smarttech.com, or kahoot.it. I equally use the smart board to post pictures, play videos, or for research purpose. I equally use the smart board as a workstation for students during online group assignments.
If you have students who are noisy or non-attentive, share with us 2 ways you get them to be quiet and concentrate.
I have 3 ways I use to deal with classroom behavior. First, I rehearse classroom expectations and routines regularly. Most especially, I build a wonderful relationship with my students. My students know that I love them, and in return, they respect me. I use positive behavior intervention strategy. Here, I focus more on rewarding positive behavior. I have a lot of reward systems I use in my classroom. My students know that they expect a reward each time they put up a good behavior. If a student or a group of students are noisy, I walk up to them, I call them by name and ask them to tell me what they were discussing about.
Describe the most difficult problem you have had to deal with as a teacher and show how you solved this problem.
The most difficult problem I had was when I just started work. I had not done much about rewarding positive behavior. I concentrated more on punishing negative behavior. This went on until one day, one of my students asked me a question. He said, "Upon all the good things I do in your class, you can only call my parents and tell them about the one wrong thing I did." This made me to rethink. Then I started learning how to reward positive behavior. I have used it since then, and it is very, very effective in my classes.
Give one example to show that you are a flexible person and that you can make changes to your teaching and methods if that is necessary.
I always have an alternative assignment for every computer or online assignment, so that if technology fails, I can always have a backup assignment.
Is there anything you would like to add about your qualifications that we may not be aware of?
No.
Have you spoken to your family about going to the United States to teach? Is there anything such as a family member that might object to your leaving home?
No.
Are you aware that your family members may not join you here until approximately 4 to 6 weeks after your arrival?
Yes.
Do you understand and accept that FACES is a 3 years program, and after 3 years you must return to your home country? Do you agree to this?
Yes.